So it's round 2 for the Samsung Galaxy Note, and it's bigger, beefier and a lot more polished than before. Samsung's even calling it a smartphone this time round, which makes it the most powerful smartphone on the planet. And then there's the S Pen stylus, which has been overhauled with a bunch of fancy new tricks, but more on that later. On the design front, it looks like a supersized S3, so plastic and lightweight but sturdy, with rounded corners, a massive bright display and uber thin bezel, essentially blending the two into one slick device. It's narrower than its predecessor and thinner at 9.4mm. The home button is also a little sleeker and the phone comfier to hold. Annoyingly though, it's a little too easy to knock that power button, so you might accidentally turn off the screen. One-handed use is achievable though, depending on the size of your hands, but most will be able to operate the basics without shifting grip. And while it's not too big that it feels unwieldy, it is perhaps a bit too big for a smartphone. But if you do foresee looking silly holding it up to your ear, just bag yourself a Bluetooth headset. Now what's particularly impressive is that Samsung has crammed an even larger screen into a slightly more compact handset, taking that screen from 5.3 inches to 5.5. And the 720p Super AMOLED display is absolutely gorgeous and amazing for movies, throwing up a really clear and vivid picture. Even dark scenes look really good. It's now 16:9 too, and maximises that extra screen space by squeezing in another icon. The screen is excellent in other areas too, like with Google Maps. It's clear, vivid and will be great as a sat-nav. And it's not just pretty on the outside. The processor has been upgraded from a dual-core 1.4 GHz processor to an almighty 1.6 GHz quad-core chip, complemented nicely by 2 GB of RAM. And from the moment you start prodding and swiping away, it becomes abundantly clear that this thing is fast, really fast. You're getting an amazing multimedia, gaming and general user experience, and multitasking is slick. With the help of Jelly Bean and Project Butter, opening up and transitioning between apps is a touch quicker than the Galaxy S3, and swiping through images, browsing and firing up the camera are all snappy. Unfortunately though, we suffered a few crashes when using the Gallery app and streaming a video from the web. Now all of the S3's features are present on the Note 2, like pop-up play, so you can watch a video in a small window while browsing the web or playing a game, for example. There's also Smart Stay to keep the display on when you're looking at it. The pop-up browser, however, is new and a pretty handy feature to have around. And then there's the easily accessible S Pen stylus. When removed, it immediately triggers pop-up note. And the S Pen has been improved. It's easier to hold, has a rubber tip, side-mounted button, and Wacom digitizer smarts. And handwriting generally feels a lot more natural and accurate. The keyboard has been improved too, allowing you to shift it to the left or right for easy one-handed typing. A neat little trick is Air View. Hover the S Pen over gallery folders, emails or video timelines for a quick preview. Gimmicky, yes, but it could prove very, very useful. We particularly like cropping around images from the web to paste into Scrapbook or an email. It's messy, but the process feels closer to ripping out magazine pages. You can also insert videos, pictures and text boxes into your notes. Samsung supplies a bunch of templates for things such as meeting minutes and recipes, and like Draw Something, you can also record your sketch creation. And whether using the stylus or your finger, the browsing experience here is excellent. The screen is large for full desktop websites and small text is easy to read. Now with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean straight out of the box, there's instant access to Google Now that will learn your behaviour via your location, calendar entries and searches before displaying cards with helpful info like the local weather, restaurant recommendations and bus timetables. Combined with S-Voice, the Note proves to be a great Siri rival. And of course there's the familiar and minimalist TouchWiz UI, which means you get 7 home screens, its own set of app icons, a few handy widgets like this, and a custom lock screen. Like the S3, the Note 2 has an 8-megapixel snapper with LED flash, which gives very similar results, though due to its size and weight, it's more difficult to keep steady when setting up a shot. There's 1080p video, 20 photo burst mode, and the ability to take photos while filming. Autofocus speed is very good, and overall camera performance is excellent in good lighting conditions, while photos in low light are passable. And one of the most impressive specs of the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 has got to be its battery. You're looking at around 8 to 9 hours, of course depending on use. And that's based on looping a full screen video with Wi-Fi and 3G switched on. The built-in memory can be expanded by up to 64 GB via microSD. It's LTE compatible, while NFC and S-Beam let you transfer content between devices. So if you're looking for a device to use as a smartphone and also a mini tablet, the Note 2 is the obvious choice and the best choice. It offers everything the Galaxy S3 can do, but on a much larger scale. So if you can find room for it in your pocket or your bag, the Note 2 will pay you in kind with a beautifully giant display, impeccable multitasking, the latest version of Android, and of course all that S Pen fun. Yes, you might look a bit silly holding it up to make a call, and for most people the S Pen probably won't be used on a daily basis. But what you're looking at here is one incredibly powerful machine.